Hello and welcome to Talk This Way. I'm your host, Marcia Martin, and today we're continuing our series on communication mastery with a fascinating exploration of how your words create your reality. This episode is titled The Power of Declarations. We often underestimate the power of language and how our words shape our future. Declarations are not just simple statements. They are powerful speech actions that create possibilities, influencing the path you take in life. In this episode, I'll walk you through the concept of declarations, explaining how they work like tools in a toolbox to shape your reality. We'll explore how to make declarations that empower you, how they differ from requests or apologies, and how they set you on a pathway toward your desired outcomes. You'll learn how to consciously create the future you want through the power of words, and how your declarations can give you the power to manifest your intentions. So are you ready to start declaring the life you want and make it a reality? Let's get started. We have a list of restaurants near the old mill that we printed out. It's in the back. Some of you can go to the restaurant here at lunch. If you all go to the restaurant at lunch, we will never get you out again. It'll be like going into a dark hole. So some of you go there, some of you go to some of the restaurants. We'll have an hour and 20 minutes or so, or an hour and 25 minutes for lunch. So it'll be time. We're going to go to lunch at 1, because I've got some things between now and then to see if we can get it all in. Andre and Stephen, if you could stand up. These are new people in the class that came a little late, so I just want to say hello. So we're letting them sit at the table because they become attached to those chairs. But only till lunch. And then you have to do what everybody else does, which is get a new chair after every break. How many people, anybody forget? A little bit, that's okay. Enough people really around to get these people. So Andre, Stephen, I'm just preparing you that you will be in the group after lunch. And your little table, which you love so well, will revert back to the staff table.
I thought we were part of the team.
The staff comes and says, we have a problem. They really like that table. Okay, a couple of things. If I say snow, it's what we call a collapsed word. In other words, there's many distinctions of snow. But I can collapse all of these distinctions into an undifferentiated mass and call every kind of snow, snow. So I lived in Athens for so many years. The white stuff up on the hill is snow. But if I don't learn to have distinctions, I could get into trouble. What are some distinctions that you would say are in snow?
Slush.
Slush. What else?
Flurries.
Flurries.
White.
Powder.
White. Powder. What?
Like snow for sports.
Yeah, like groomed. There's groomed runs and there's ungroomed runs. You have to know the distinction or you could get into trouble, right? Yellow, snow. You want to know that distinction for sure. The thing about language is that anything that you don't have a label or a name for, something in language, a word, you can't see. It doesn't show up for you. It doesn't occur if you don't have a name for it. So the more distinctions you have, the more powerful you are. If you just know there's snow, and you've never seen snow before, and all you have is snow, and you don't know all of the distinctions, those distinctions won't show up for you. And then you get in trouble and you eat yellow snow. You see? So we want to have distinctions. We want to uncollapse all of the things we collapse into one word, and then have a distinction because we can work more powerfully. There are distinctions in language. Now most people speak as if all language is the same. So we say, I had a conversation. Conversation collapsed. There are lots of different kinds of conversations. But if you don't have the distinction of those different kinds of conversations, then when you're in a conversation, you won't know, are you in a conversation for action? Is action occurring here? Or are you in a conversation for possibility? Are you generating, brainstorming, creating possibilities? Two separate, distinct kinds of conversations. And in language, we say that there are speech acts, or actions in speech. And one of those distinctions, one of those speech act, is declaration. So this is a kind of language. When you speak a lot of things. Sometimes you have requests, sometimes you have offers, sometimes you have promises, sometimes you have assessments, sometimes you have assertions, sometimes you have complaints, sometimes you have apologies. They're all distinct in language. They all have a purpose. And one of those distinctions is declaration. Now the purpose for declaration is, it's a tool in your toolbox. It has a job. So just, if you have a toolbox and you have a hammer and a saw, and I come to you and I say, I've got this really long piece of wood, and I would like it to be 2 pieces of wood instead of 1. What would you say in my toolbox I should use, the hammer or the saw?
Saw.
Why?
That's the tool to cut.
Yeah, it's going to do it more efficiently, quicker, neater. You could cut it into it with a hammer, right? It'd be a little messy and take a little time and wouldn't be economical. But you could do it. But the tool that's made for the purpose of cutting a piece of wood in half is called a saw. Now, if I want to take those 2 pieces of wood that I have separate and put them together in a different format with a nail, do I use the hammer or the saw? Why?
It's a tool for the job.
Carly? Yeah, does the job. Language is like that. Every distinction in language has a purpose or a job. It does something, okay? Declaration has a purpose. Now a declaration, you can tell if you're making a declaration is, when you say it as if this shall be. You're declaring something. This shall be. You're just saying, this shall be. So you can hear yourself in language when you say, I never can make relationships work. Can you hear the declaration in that?
Sure.
This isn't going to work out the way I want it to. Can you hear the declaration? This is going to be really fabulous. Can you hear the declaration? Okay. So you can tell that you speak declarations on a regular basis all the time, yeah? I'm not good at art. I'm not a good salesman. I can't speak. I'm really fabulous at putting together stories. Can you hear all of the declaration in each of those? So just consider some of the things you declare to yourself and to others about yourself or your environment. This isn't going to work. This is going to be so easy. Oh, this is going to be uncomfortable. Oh, this is going to be fabulous. Oh, this is going to be hard. Every single thing I just said was a declaration. Now, what do you suppose a declaration actually does? Because you're making lots of declarations. So what are you doing?
I'm talking to my subconscious.
Well, yes, that's true, but it actually has a function. All of the things you say, you're talking to your subconscious. But a declaration has a particular function, like a hammer or a saw, it has a job.
Like a prediction of what the outcome is going to be?
Very good.
And you're building the path to how your outcome will be.
Yes. What we say, in exactly the direction, a pathway, you're building it, is a declaration creates possibilities. Okay? That's its function, to create a possibility. a possibility is a real thing as a possibility. A possibility doesn't exist as a flip chart exists. They live in different worlds. The flip chart lives in the visible world, out here. A declaration and a possibility live in an invisible world. There's laws to both worlds. We're going to learn the laws because you create and you manifest by bringing those two worlds together. Okay? Now, declaration creates a possibility. A possibility is like a path. It's like the direction you're going, like Danielle said. And when we create a possibility, it's like you're in a car and you're coming to a couple of tunnels and you choose one tunnel or the other. And you go into one of the tunnels, and when you're in the tunnel, you're surrounded by the possibility you just created. You can't go sideways. You go out or backwards. In other words, you talk yourself into the possibility just like you would move into a tunnel. It is a pathway. Because human beings like to be right, and we're thrown to being right, looking good, knowing the answer, then when we create a declaration that creates a possibility, once we've said it, we want to be right about it. So now we look around and we find evidence, because everything's out there, just like the old woman and the young woman, you see, it's just from where you're looking. If we're looking from the perspective, we just declared this as a possibility, then we're going to find evidence that our possibility is right. We could find evidence that our possibility is not right, but we don't work that way, because as a human being, you like to be right. You just declared something, you're going in this journey, now you're going to look to see, well, where is it that proves me right? Where's the evidence? And you will keep proving it right until it comes into existence. So when you say, things are never going to get better, and you keep saying that, and then you'll find some way to prove to yourself that things aren't getting better. And then you say, see, I was right about that, things aren't getting better, and this is, you keep looking down there, pretty soon you're going to end up in the land of not better. It's going to be real. So when you declare something, you're creating a pathway for yourself. Now, I'm going to have you stand up, each of you, and declare something. I want you to declare what you want. Now, most of you will start hearing what other people are saying. That'll be the first step. And think of it as people making declarations, creating paths towards having the thing and making it right that they're going to have it. That'll be interesting to see what people are creating. People create the damnedest things. And how people show up in terms of what they want, what they're intending, what they're creating. Just notice they're voicing it as if, I hope it happens, I'm not sure it will, it probably won't. You know, if you pretended there was a council, that each one of you had a council, like a board of directors, and the way that they got their direction was they listened to what you said. Just pretend that. It's a way to look at something, right? So consider that possible, that there is a council somewhere that says, my job in life is to make sure that this particular, specific, unique human being has everything that they create, want, and manifest. And how I will know what that is I will listen to what they speak. And then the person says, I hope this happens. And they have a little council meeting and they say, yeah, she doesn't really want it yet, she's just hoping, so I guess we don't give it to her yet. Well, let's hold it over here in the corner and wait for a while and see if she does more than hope. When she starts intending, we'll send it down. You know, start thinking about that. Thanks for listening to Talk This Way. If you enjoyed the episode, follow the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. And for access to training, courses, and other ways to learn from Marcia, visit marciamartin.com. That's MARCIA.